Hello students, in the previous lecture we have discussed about the posology and the factors affecting the doses and action of drugs in humans. So we have studied some of the factors which affect the doses, and in today's lecture let us discuss about the remaining factors. So in today's lecture, first of all we are going to discuss about the antagonism. So antagonism is when the action and duration of action of one drug is diminished by the other drug. The phenomena is called antagonism. जब एक ड्रग का एक्शन किसी और ड्रग से की वजह से कम हो जाता है उसको हम बोलते हैं एंटागोनिज्म, या आप कह लो कि जब कोई एक ड्रग दूसरी ड्रग के इफेक्ट को काट देती है तो उसको हम बोल सकते हैं एंटागोनिज्म. The total combined effect is less than the algebraic total effect of the two drugs. So the example of antagonism are combination of adrenaline and acetylcholine. As you know, adrenaline is vasoconstrictor and acetylcholine is vasodilator. And milk of magnesia, that which is alkaline in nature, and acid poisoning drug. So that was all about the antagonism. Next is habituation. So habituation is the condition when a patient continues to be under emotional and psychological dependence rather than the compulsion. So habituation is the so the tea, coffee, tobacco, chewing of bitter nut, tranquilizer, etc. So having being used for the same purpose, so they can cause the habituation. So since all these do not create any compulsion individual, so individual can carry on his work even after such agents are withdrawn. So there is no physical dependence, hence the condition can be controlled or tackled. So next is addiction. So addiction is a condition when a patient continues to be under psychic and physical dependence on drugs. So there is characterized, so this is characterized by the compulsion of taking drugs, a tendency to increase the dose, and high tendency to withdrawal symptoms. So continuous use of drugs like alcohol, opium, cocaine, heroin, morphine, pethidine, and LSD leads to the condition of addiction. So hence such drugs need special precaution. So next is idiosyncrasy. So addiction. So this is a condition when person do not respond like to same drug due to individual factors. So some person may produce abnormal action of the drug in the amount of standard dose. So this is unusual reaction is termed as idiosyncrasy. So small dose of quinine may cause ringing in ear, and small dose of aspirin may cause gastric hemorrhage. So these are the examples of the idiosyncrasy. So as such the mechanism is not known, but in few cases mechanism can be explained on the basis of genetically determined total absence or reduced activity of some enzymes in the body of the person. Example is primaquine, which shows hemolysis due to lack of enzymes, which is glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase. So next is succinylcholine produces respiratory paralysis and prolonged apnea in individuals whose plasma contain an atypical pseudocholinesterase enzyme. So if such results are obtained, the drug should immediately be discontinued. So next is hypersensitivity. So it is also called allergic reaction of drug. So it is different from the desired pharmacological action or non-toxic effect of the drug. So this type of behavior of the drug can be due to frequent or indiscriminate use of drugs like antibiotics, vitamins, or some proteinous substances. So if a person is sensitized by prior administration of the same drug, a minute dose of the drug will produce allergic reactions. So it might be an immediate type of serious condition like anaphylaxis, showing symptoms of fall in BP, bronchial spasm, and sign of peripheral shock, which should be treated promptly. Otherwise, person may lead to death. So, an injection of adrenaline is given to raise BP, and antihistamines to counteract histamine. So, to avoid such condition, one should be tested previously by intradermal sensitization test. So, if found positive for a particular drug, the that drug should not be given. So next is tolerance. So this is the condition when an unusually large dose is required to produce an effect which has been produced by normal dose. So it is due to the development of drug resistance which demands larger doses. So for example, tolerance is developed in case of barbiturates in the treatment of epilepsy, and smokers can tolerate nicotine, and rabbits can tolerate a dose of atropine lethal, which is lethal to man due to the presence of atropine esterase enzymes. So tolerance may be true or pseudo. So in true tolerance, receptors of drugs are decreased, but in case of pseudo tolerance, receptors are alive, but absorption of drug is decreased and or excretion is increased. So next is tachyphylaxis. So this condition is observed after drug is repeatedly consumed at small intervals. So the cell receptors are blocked up and pharmacological response to the drug or to the particle drug is diminished, and which is not reversed even by increasing the dose. So if the drug is discontinued for a long time, when the initial effect of the drug is reappeared, this type of drug behavior is called tachyphylaxis. So drugs like ephedrine, amphetamine, cocaine, nitrites. So these are the common examples of this condition. So next is pediatric dosage. So how the pediatric doses are calculated. So as it is understood that a dose is affected by age of the patient, a pediatric dose requires calculation for providing a correct dose to a child usually less than 12 years in age. So many ways have been found to calculate children doses on the basis of age, body weight, and surface area. So first one is Young's rule, which said dose of child is equal to age in years upon age in years plus 12 and multiplied by the adult dose. Next is Dilling's rule. So next we will discuss about the introduction to veterinary doses and factors affecting it. So apart from the human dose of drugs, a pharmacist must also be aware of veterinary doses of drugs and factors affecting them. So veterinary doses are also affected by more or less the same factors which we have studied for human beings. First one is age, body weight and size, sex, time of administration, route of administration, climatic conditions, environmental factors, habit, species, synergistic or antagonistic effect, form in which drug is given, and purpose of medication. So next is rate of elimination. So first one is age. So veterinary dose of drug is also proportionate to the age of the animal. So young aged animals being susceptible require less dose than an adult. So next is body weight and size. So as similar to the human beings, body weight and size of the animal affect the dose of drugs. So sometimes breed of animals become important to be considered in deciding the dose. For example, particularly in dog, where one breed may be 10 times heavier than the other breed, hence the dose of drug is given accordingly. So next is sex. So females of the species require less dose than the males. So the reason behind this are less weight, occurrence of pregnancy and lactation period. So care should be taken that strong preservatives and the drugs having tendency to pass into the milk must not be given to pregnant and lactating animals, and particularly to cows of which milk is consumed by human beings. So time of administration is, so empty stomach allows the drug to be absorbed rapidly. So thus if given on empty stomach instead on full stomach, therapeutic response is rapidly achieved. Example is anthelmintics and purgatives act effectively on empty stomach. Sedatives are more effective when given at the end of the day rather than anytime during the day. So next is route of administration. Similarly, as in case of human being, dose in animals follow the same pattern. It varies in the following order. Oral dose require greater dose which is greater than the subcutaneous dose, which is greater than the intramuscular dose, and which is greater than the intravenous dose. So next is climatic conditions. So climatic conditions like hot, cold, and humid weather also influence the dose of the drug. So hot and humid climate require less dose than in dry and cold climatic conditions. So next is environmental factors. So surroundings of the patient sometimes influence the dose of some drugs like hypnotic require heavy dose if given in presence of noise. And next is habit. Animals undergone treatment for a long time may develop tolerance for the particular drug. So then the normal dose of that drug will not be effective and a higher dose will have to be given in such cases. So next is species. So it is very much obvious that the dose of the drugs varies from species to species. That is, dose for a horse will be different from cow, from sheep, from goat, etc. So this variation is due to the difference between anatomical and physiological dissimilarities. So next is synergistic or antagonistic effect. So therapeutic response is potentiated when two drugs having similar effect are given in the combined form. So on the other hand, the therapeutic response of drug is decreased when given with some other drug. So details of this can be referred back. So form in which a drug is given. So when acute drugs are given as such, therapeutic response takes longer time to establish rather than the extracted active principles. For example, Nux vomica powder is given in larger doses than its active principle, styrene. Purpose of medication is the same drug can be used for different purpose by manipulating the dose of the drug. So a very good example is magnesium hydroxide gel. So it acts as a purgative in larger doses while as an antacid in smaller doses. So next is rate of elimination. So drug extracted rapidly requires larger doses than those extracted at a slow rate. So so one can find out doses of few important drugs along with their routes of administration and uses for some domestic animals. So you can learn from the tables which have the name of drug, maximal dose and route, and mode and use. So I'm going to discuss about the few drugs with their maximal dose and route and mode of and use. So first of all, acetazolamide, um its range is between 250 mg to 500 mg, and initial dose is 500 mg, then the 250 mg. So acetaminophen, 5 to 10 mg, so daily for 1 week before delivery in prophylaxis of neonatal hemorrhage, and 10 to 20 mg, so daily for 1 week in the preoperative treatment of obstructive jaundice. So next is adrenaline, that is from 0.2 to 0.5 mg, uh, subcutaneous as a single dose, and adrenaline bitartrate 0.4 to 1 mg as a single dose. Allopurinol 200 to 400, that is daily in divided dose, which is a gout suppressant. Next is aminophylline 0.1 to 0.3 gram, slowly administered and bronchodilator. Next is amitriptyline HCl 75 to 150 mg, daily in divided doses, and which is antidepressant. And in case of carbimazole 30 to 60 mg, daily in divided doses, and which is antithyroid substance. And chloroquine phosphate 200 to 300 mg as base, intramuscular or intravenous, daily for adult, which is anti-malarial. So students, that was all about the pathology.